Hey everyone, welcome to the beginner breakdown video for King and King of Fighters 14. In this video I'm going to teach you the basics of King, that way you can get right into the game, start beating up your friends. This video series is geared more towards beginners, or players who are really bad at learning characters. So with that in mind, let's get started. As always, let's go over 4 normals first. Here's Light Punch, Light Kick, Heavy Punch, and Heavy Kick. Light Punch goes pretty far, it's her farthest fast button. It goes further than Light Kick. However, as you may have guessed if you watched a couple of these, seeing a pattern here, it does whiff a lot on crouchers, so you gotta remember that. It will not whiff on big bodies like Chang or Daimon, so it does have that going for it. So it is a little bit plus on block, so if you do get somebody standing with it who's blocking it, you can continue to pressure a little bit, you are at an advantage. You cannot super or special cancel it. And so that limits your options with it a little bit. And then Light Kick has a little bit less range, like I said. It does not whiff on crouchers, so it's a pretty solid poke. It goes kind of far. You cannot super or special cancel it. It's a little bit negative, but pretty close to even on block. It does have a weird property to it, which I will show off in a sec. Like that, right there. So it has like a little bit of armor on it, so it can go through some hits and hit the opponent. However, what the hell is that? So it can armor through some things, but the armor is upper body, I think. It can't go through lows. It's more like where her hands are. Like if you look at her hands, it almost looks like she's blocking a little bit, like a boxer's block. I think that's around where the armor is. So you can do that towards jumping, Steve, if you time it right. But at low level, you're probably not going to be using the armor on it too much. Next, we got Far Heavy Punch. This button right here, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good poke. You can definitely hit somebody from a distance with that. However, unfortunately, it does whiff a lot on crouchers, unless they're a big body, like Chang or Daimon. So you got to remember that if you're sticking that out to poke. It is active for a while, so you can kind of throw it out preemptively and anti-air somebody. See how I threw it out kind of early and they fell into it. It is a little negative. Actually, it is pretty negative on block. However, it does have a pushback on it. That makes it a lot harder to punish. And in case I didn't say it, it's not super or special cancelable, but it is a pretty good max mode button. So if you need to like go into max mode from a distance, like say somebody whiffs like an uppercut or something like that, you can be like that, or go into like close heavy kick or something, and you cancel that into some other stuff. And then next we got Far Heavy Kick, this button right here. So that goes really far. It's not a bad poke. It's really negative on block, so you have to be careful when you throw that out. Like if you throw it a little too close and they block it, they could definitely like sweep you back, and sweeps are pretty slow. And so if they use up something that's quicker, of course you can get a bigger punish on you. It's an okay anti-air. It'll trade a lot though if they hit a button, and it is not super or special cancelable. And also, the weird thing about that is though, it looks like magic right there. See, it does not whiff on crouchers, so you could use that to poke on crouchers. And in some ways that makes it a little bit better than Heavy Punch, just because of that, and it does push back. You could cancel into max mode with that as well, if you wanted to. Like that, and then of course you cancel that into something else. Next, let's go over close normals. Light Punch, Light Kick, Heavy Punch, and Heavy Kick. So Light Punch is slightly negative on block, and you can special and super cancel into whatever you need. You can also super cancel it, and it can be blocked both standing or crouching, so nothing too tricky about that. Close Light Kick, that is a low, so if they're stand blocking, it will hit them. It's pretty close to even on block, so even if they do block it, it's pretty hard to punish, if it even is punishable at all. And it is special and super cancelable. Then close Heavy Punch is pretty good. That move is close to even on block, very slightly negative, so you can't really punish it as far as I'm aware of. It's special and super cancelable, so that's good. And then it's can be blocked both standing or crouching, pretty good. And then close Heavy Kick is more negative, but it does have pushback on it. So even if you do use it and then they block it, you do get pushed back a little bit. And I don't think it's punishable, because like I said, it's only a slightly negative. but more negative than heavy punch. And then it is super and special cancelable, so it's not a bad button to use as a beginner when you're up close. You can wait until the second hit even to cancel into special moves and into supers as well. Forgot what the super was for a second. And then I think I briefly mentioned this, you can chain and combo basically close light punch into close light kick, and that'll combo. And then you can special cancel that into something for a full combo. And then you can also go into her command normal slide from that, which I'll go over more a little bit later. Let's go over crouching normals next. Light punch, light kick, heavy punch, and heavy kick. Crouching light punch can be blocked standing or crouching. It is a little plus on block, so it's pretty good because of that. So you can use that to do some pressure as king. And it is special and super cancelable, so you can use that to go into whatever moves you need to. If you want a real low, light kick is the way to go. It has a little bit more range than light punch as well. It is slightly plus on block, so it's still good as well. You can chain a couple in a row, and then you can like go into light punch afterwards for your special cancel needs for a combo. And then you cannot special or super cancel light kick. In crouching heavy punch, you can special and super cancel. It's pretty negative on block, so you probably don't want to be throwing that right next to somebody like that. But if you did, you can special cancel it. And super as well. It's a pretty okay anti-air. So if you wanted to land it, it can trade a lot if you're not careful like that. It has to be like pretty deep for it to work. If you hit it pretty early, even it'll still probably trade a lot. So it's pretty okay. You can try that out when somebody's jumping on you, but like I said, it has to be pretty deep into their jump arc. And then at that point, they've probably already stuck out a button, so it might trade with that. It's just okay. And their sweep's pretty solid. Like, it goes decently far. It does push back to a little bit on block, making it a little bit harder to punish. Yeah, so that's really hard to punish because of that. You can special and super cancel if you wanted to make it more annoying. So canceling into like venom strikes can be pretty annoying to deal with. That's something you might want to consider when you're doing that. You can also super cancel if you want to, but probably don't have any good reason to. Right, next, let's go over jump ins. Here's light punch, light kick, heavy punch, and heavy kick. They're all standard jump ins. As long as you hit them at the right angle, right depth, you can get whatever you want off of them. So they're all good. If you want a cross up button, heavy kick's a good one. It'll cross up on crouchers as well, whether you're jumping or short hopping. Heavy punch is pretty good too. It's a good jump in. So if you just wanted to stick to one button, heavy kick's not a bad one. You could use heavy punch as well. It's got the right angle for it. And then for short hop, either of those two work as well. Great angles for them. Heavy kick goes a little bit further. Their jumping blowback move, which is heavy punch and heavy kick in the air. This is plus on block like all of them, so if you get them to block it, you can press your advantage. It's pretty good. You can hit it kind of early in your jump in, and it'll probably still hit. And it's a pretty good air-to-air too. It has a deceptively good range on it, which is great. And it'll blow them back towards the corner, which is great for a king, so you can like back up and start throwing some venom strikes at them and be just really annoying. So yeah, overall it's a pretty good jump in and short hop button. Next, let's go over command normals. She only has one. It's down, forward, heavy kick. This slide right here, so it goes pretty far. It is pretty unsafe if you do it up close. They can punish it pretty easily. It's harder to punish at the tip. You have to be pretty particular with how you want to punish it, if it even is punishable. It can go under projectiles, which is pretty good. You just have to time it right. It'll just like a low profile it. So you can use that to get around people that are other characters that have fireballs that they're trying to zone against you. And it's pretty good to combo into as well. So you'll probably be ending a lot of your combos with that. So like like close heavy kick in a slide, heavy punch in a slide. You can even do it from our light buttons, like light punch in a slide. That combos. You can do a close light punch, like kick. That. And that all combo. And then you can special and super cancel the slide into whatever you need. So that it has that going for it as well. Next, her blowback move, heavy punch and heavy kick at the same time. This is pretty good. It's really far. Not only that, the pushback is really good on it, making it even harder to punish. And on top of that, it is only very slightly negative on block, so you probably can't even punish it. And if you wanted to be more annoying, you can like cancel that into a fireball. It's like a venom strike. So in case they do block it, you can just throw it out there and be even more annoying. If you're in a situation where you're pretty sure you can land it, you can get some stuff like, you know, like that I think is called tornado kick, and then you're like right next to them and you can hit them afterwards, or you can go into like slide, you know, whatever you want. And then you can also like throw it out and then throw a quick fireball, and that'll all combo. It's also not bad against some jump-ins if you throw it out preemptively. And you know, you blow them backwards and you have time to start throwing more venom strikes from a distance. Let's go over special moves next. That should be quick. She only has 3. It's awesome for me. And then so it's first one is venom strike. It's the fireballs you've seen me doing a lot. Of course, I'll go forward and kick. Here's light kick. It goes kind of slow across the screen. Heavy kick does the same amount of damage, but it goes quicker. And then the EX one is the quickest one, and there's 2 of them. So if the first one hits, the other one combos into it, and it does the most damage. It also blows them back on hit too, whereas the other ones, they're still standing. So you can combo into them pretty much from all over close buttons pretty easily, even in the slow one, as long as you're quick enough with the cancel. Even from like crouching, you can cancel into it and it'll combo. So it's not bad. The only thing that sucks is, you know, you canceled into it and then you're right next to them. And maybe you want to be a little bit further away because they don't get knocked down, like I said, with the normal ones. But if you combo into like the EX one, then yeah, of course you knock them back and you can start running away, throwing more venom strikes. You can just like activate EX mode. You don't even have to combo into it, and you just use that as like a zoning tool. Start throwing venom strikes. They start trying to jump over them. You vary the different speeds up to throw off their jumping. Sometimes you throw an EX one for the damage, and you know, sometimes they'll land into it. And then you can also like, if you're close enough, you can also hit them afterwards. Like with that move, if you're close enough when you hit them, like if they're jumping on you and you hit them with that, with an EX venom strike, and then before they hit the ground, you can do that. You can do the EX version of that, so you can hit them afterwards. It's pretty good. And then if you just kind of throw it out raw, point blank like that, and they block it, it is pretty easy to punish. Next special move she has is has her go back then kick. Here's light kick, tornado kick. It goes about that far. Slower startup. The heavy kick has quicker startup and goes further. Heavy kick does more damage than the light kick one. They're both pretty unsafe on block, so if you do it right next to them and they block it, they can punish you pretty easily. Same thing with the X1 actually it's only slightly negative on block, and then it does spike them off the ground, allowing for some follow-ups. Combo into them too. It's just kind of dependent on spacing, really, more than anything. So like if you do, because the startup on the light kick one is kind of slow, if you try comboing from her light buttons, it will work, but if you try doing it from a distance, it won't combo like that because of that. But you know, heavy kick will work in that same sequence, which is crushing light kick, light punch into a tornado kick. And the reason why heavy kick worked is because it has the quicker startup. To complicate it a little bit more, if you wanted to use the light kick one, you can, you know, in a combo. And if you get the combo in the corner like that, you can hit them afterwards. Like, we know with something simple like that, like crouching heavy punch, you only get one like hit off of it. Like if you notice, as soon as I hit her, she did that backflip in the air and landed. You can't hit them when they do that little flip. So it has to be like one big hit, and not everything works. So a lot of her normal buttons will work. She can't get, as far as I know, she can't get this afterwards, but you can get a super afterwards. Yeah, like you'll get the full damage for that super. The other super will just completely whiff. See right there, I just went through her. And then the X1 you get the most off of anywhere. So you can go into like Venom Strike, you can go into like another tornado kick. Even mid-screen you get stuff off of it since she spikes them off the ground right next to her. You can get, you know, super afterwards if you want a Climax super. A lot of stuff you can get off of it. It's a pretty good combo tool. One way you'll be using these is if you're throwing out Venom Strikes, they're starting to get impatient, they're starting to jump in. You kind of do that and kind of reset the zoning situation. Last special move she has is forward, down, forward, and kick. This move right here, light kick version and heavy kick version are the same thing. They do the same amount of damage. They're more like combo enders, so you can combo into them from really anything as long as you're close enough. Like right there, for example. They look like you could use them as anti-airs, like if somebody's jumping in on you, but it does trade a lot with really good normals, like air normals. So chances are you probably won't be using that to anti-air. Yeah, you'll just get counter hit a lot. Yeah, see, even there. The EX one though is the most invincible one, so you can use that to anti-air and it'll suck them down to the ground and you'll get the full damage. You don't get any follow-ups though, and the EX one does the most damage. And they're all pretty negative on block, so don't go using that right next to somebody and they, just in case they block it. You want to combo into it, and it lets you, blast them away. That way you can start setting up Venom Strikes again. And it is super cancelable as well. So you can cancel at any point into a super. Ideally you want to cancel on the last hit. That hit right there to get the most out of it. Let's go over supers next. She has critical forward twice and then punch. And then this is what EX looks like. The next she has critical back twice and then kick. And that's the EX one. And then next she has her Climax super, which is critical forward, half circle back, and then in both kicks. So that Climax super does have a limited range. If you're too far, it won't land, like right there. If you want to cancel a super and another super, the only really way you're going to be doing that is by canceling her punch super into her Climax super. Yeah, it'll look something like that. Of course you can wait until the last hit to Climax cancel it, that way you get more damage out of it. The only reason that works is because her Climax super can be done in the air. As you see right there, and she'll land back on the ground and do that. So that's why it makes that possible. This super, you can't do in the air, so it won't work. Yeah, so that super whiffs a lot. I don't think it's possible to make that work. So you want to go into that super into the Climax if you're going to be canceling it. And then if you're trying to cancel just super into super, so you could do that. It's just a waste of bar because you're only getting a tiny little bit of extra damage from this since you're canceling the first hit. You're not getting the full thing. You're like losing like 70%, 75% of that damage by doing it that way. You'll probably just be canceling the punch super and the Climax super. That's probably your best bang for your buck. And then if you're canceling the EX one, the same rules apply. You can cancel like at any point. You just want to cancel before the end of the animation. And then combos I would start with any of your close buttons in a slide into like a special move like the fast, like the heavy kick version of Venom Strike. You could do, of course you can just go straight from the close button into special move, close button to slide into that spin kick move. You can also do that kick as well, the tornado kick, whatever. From up close you can also do like close slide punch like kick into slide, and then you special cancel that into whatever you want. And then from down low I would go probably like kick, like punch, then special cancel that into something. You can also go into slide from that, then special cancel that, maybe a tornado kick, into Venom Strike, whatever whatever you want, whatever makes sense to you. Whatever you cancel into, you want to remember that you're kind of doing that to set up her zoning, so you can get back into her game plan, throwing these out and being really annoying with them, trying to get opponents to block them for chip damage, fall into them from bad jump-ins because you're varying up the speed, or you start baiting their jump-ins when they're jumping from over the Venom Strikes. or you start like baiting their rolls as well. Then of course taking into consideration what I've said about each of the special moves, you're trying to get more damage off of those special moves or canceling the special moves into supers. So there you have it. There's my beginner breakdown video for King. Hopefully you learned something. Quick time to chill. If you found this episode useful or any other episodes useful, feel free to subscribe. If you think it was pretty useful, you can share it around if you want. I don't care. Maybe we can grow this channel a little bit. Of course you don't have to. They're not being held hostage. I'll still keep making them. Speaking of which, this week there might be a big gap between this breakdown video and the next one. Just some stuff I gotta do. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Definitely don't mind helping out. And with that, let's check out member select really quick.
Member select.
Oh, there we go. Yep. So next one is gonna be my. That should be a fun one. Another character that I played it quite a bit. I played her in the demo. She is really good. She's still pretty good. So I'm looking forward to making that one. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.